here we are, guys. We have arrived at Bayuquan, a lesser-known place right here at Yingkou City in Liaodong Province. I just got checked into my hotel room right here on the beach. Just walk downstairs, take the path, follow it straight out to the beach. Show you guys the room real quick. You can see. And the cool part is we do have a nice balcony. That's a good thing. You know, the room itself is, it's mediocre, but having a nice balcony, that's worth quite a bit. Well, here in my hotel, they've got a restaurant on hand, and of course, unsurprisingly, you're gonna have a lot of seafood. That's the thing to eat out here. Understandably, we're at the beach, right? Everybody's gonna want to eat seafood. And Chinese people love all types of seafood. I'm not big on seafood, but I'm willing to eat some. I like it sometimes. But all this shellfish stuff, I'm not a huge fan of. Little crab. These, for me, are a pain in the ass to eat, because it's a whole lot of work, and there's like nothing to eat. Now we're going to start off pretty simple. These dumplings actually are seafood dumplings, which is unique. I've never had that. This is a beach parking lot. It's different. Well, if you left home unprepared, you can get everything you need here. But they probably jacked the price up about 5 times. One interesting thing I've noticed is that most Chinese men wear tights for swimming trunks. Like, I wear shorts, like swimming trunks. But here, a lot of people wear tights. It's the more preferred swimsuit. It's a decent beach. I mean, kind of crowded, a little dirty, but you know, at least it's good soft sand. And wow, from my room, it didn't quite look this crowded, but once you get down here, it's a lot more crowded than you realized. By Chinese standards, this wouldn't even be considered crowded. But for me, this is insanely crowded. Like, I've never been to a beach that's this crowded before. All right, I'm going in. Go ahead and laugh at my white legs. Woo! Now that's a little chilly. Or you could say it's a little nipply over here. Woo! Okay, we're almost knee deep. Water's like a green kind of color. See, there's some jet skis out here. But it looks like instead of renting the jet skis, you pay for the driver and you get in the tube. You can see out there in the distance. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this isn't the world's best beach, but it's not bad. And it's just something different, you know. It always feels kind of good to get away from the usual day-to-day monotony and go see something different. And like I said, with the bullet train that's here, you can cover a lot of ground, and I got here pretty fast and pretty easy. I want you all to get a view of this. So when it's low tide, it's evening here. Look at the ground. Looks like a battleground, right? Well, people just come out here like in big numbers and dig and dig. I mean, you've got some kids just digging in the sand and playing, but a lot of people come out here and dig and look for seafood, basically. Look for like little shellfish and crabs and whatnot. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around and just give you guys a glimpse of what's going on out here. It's pretty wild. I mean, look at the ground. It's nuts. Takes a lot of people and a lot of digging to make it look like this. Just do a little walkthrough so you all can see what kind of stuff these people are finding. I do have to say, it is absolutely filthy out here. I mean, they're doing some serious digging out here. Tourist Service Center. It looks to me like this place has seen better days. So it's dinner time and came to a local restaurant that got some pretty good ratings online. I mean, this is a seafood city, you know, obviously. And you just come in here and pick what you want. Octopus, flounder. To be honest, I feel kind of weird because I love animals, not even sea creatures, fish. I mean, seeing this stuff alive and then eating it just kind of messes with me. Call me a sissy, but that's just how I feel. Lobster up here, and then over here you got the small stuff. Now, I'm not exactly sure what these are. Just clams? I don't know. These little suckers can squirt water, though. One almost squirted me earlier. I mean, they squirt just like a water gun. It's crazy. Let's see if I can catch one on video for you guys. A few of the different dishes that I got here. They've got these crazy looking kebabs. I'm gonna get the morning jog going. Got a lady out here selling fresh fruit. But for me, it's time to sweat, baby. So this is the square, or the guangchang. You probably saw my video. I'll put a little clip of it. But there's a structure that stretches out into the sea. It's kind of like off of a pier. Well, if you take this sidewalk, or this path straight back, it'll take you to that. I'm just gonna do about a little halfway trip so we can see how crowded it is. See what we see. And there you go, back out in the distance. That's what I was talking about. Now this over here is all connected to the square. Over here you can buy souvenirs. You see people, you know, when you travel, you know how it is. You find stuff to buy. Not because you really like it, not because you really want it, but just because it's there and it's something to do and it feels like it's what you should do. I think that's universal all over the globe. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep jogging through this square. I might take a turn and venture through the city a little bit too. Sorry it's bumpy, guys, I'm still running. So here's the entrance area that goes back down this pier. Just straight back. It does require a ticket to get in. And just to be clear, I will not be participating. Well, the beach was back that way, and I was jogging up, and I'm planning to just keep going that way. But I'm not one of these UrbX guys, urban exploration, but just in case there's anybody watching this who's into that kind of stuff, I mean, I think it's cool and everything. Just came across this old, rundown, whatever it was. I don't even know what it was. The grass is kind of tall. I guess they're trying to hide it. Oh, over here, there's an opening. Oh, it's so humid out here. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, guys. Got the barbed wire. And check it out. This is actually kind of cool looking. I know it looks small and simple and kind of rural, but actually, I think places like this have character. And what this is, it's a little barbecue restaurant, just a few kilometers from the beachfront. Tables outside. They'll have all different things, not only seafood, but that's their specialty. But you can tell this is just a little mom and pop's place. If I was gonna go out for any kind of barbecue, especially seafood barbecue, I would probably come here, to be honest with you. And then around here, just to show you what it's surrounded by, because when you see that, you would think, oh, he must be in the countryside. No, I'm actually in the heart of this district. Surrounded by tall buildings, hotels, restaurants. Now this brings us to an interesting cultural point. This is a huge hotel, covered in banners, and you can see here, wedding. Now why would there be a big wedding inflatable banner at a hotel. Well, that's because you have to remember, China is not a Christian nation, and they have to have some place to get married, right? They generally won't get married in a church. Some people do just for novelty, and some people do because they genuinely are Christians, but then others just do it for novelty because they think, you know, they think the Western wedding is beautiful. But the majority of people here will have their wedding held in a big fancy hotel, just like this. Guys, I'm literally at the only place on earth where my shoes would match the sidewalk. I mean, seriously. What are the odds? That was a little bit sad to see. I was just coming up this stretch here, and there was a stretch of restaurants, like one after the other. And of course, they're all selling seafood. They're all basically advertising and selling the same thing. But you've got a few of the restaurants that are super busy, and then a couple that are just empty. But the thing that was unique is that in front of each one, there was somebody sitting out curbside, waving random passersby and cars to come in and go to their restaurant, which to me showed a hint of desperation. I mean, that's not something you usually see. When I'm going down the street in China, usually you don't have people trying to say, oh, come on, come into our restaurant. Like basically, in a way, kind of fighting for customers, you know? So I sense a little bit of desperation in the market, and I'm not really surprised because it's so oversaturated. It's like there must be 1,000 of the exact same kind of restaurants selling the exact same thing. Oh, this is kind of sad. I think it's a cicada. Just saw it on the ground. I thought it might be just the shell, but I picked it up and it was the full thing. It's still alive. Poor little thing. Here we are on day 2 of the beach, and there are a couple things that I want to talk to you all about. Just some things I've experienced during this trip that I would like to share with you all. I think are worth mentioning. First thing of note is something I forgot to say yesterday. A little kid took a liking to me. It was a little kid wearing a Spider-Man bathing suit. He was probably about 10 years old, and I'm the only foreigner here, period. Notice I'm referring to myself as a foreigner. I should say I'm the only non-Chinese here, and the kid, you know, kids usually like me because I'm laid back. I like to try to make kids laugh, and I'm a good-natured guy. So this kid was talking to me, and he was telling me, you know, oh, don't go in the water here, it's too cold, and the water over here is deep, and it was cute, it was funny. He was being a nice kid, just looking out for me. And then he brought me a little, like some kind of crayfish, or not crayfish, but it looked like a mix between a crayfish and a shrimp. I'm not sure what it was. Anyway, one thing he mentioned that shocked me, he said, be very careful here when you go in the water because there was a little kid here that has disappeared today and has not been found yet. So he was saying that somebody basically lost their kid and had been missing for the entire day, which is quite terrifying. So that was the first thing on the list of things I wanted to share with you all. Now, the other thing is a totally different topic, and it's not nearly as big of a deal as someone losing a child. That's absolutely terrifying, devastating. But last night, you saw in the video, some people were lighting off, you know, some sparklers and Roman candle type of fireworks. If you know much about China, they love to set off fireworks. And they do it with very little discretion as to who they might be waking up, or, oh, I think that's the first jellyfish I've seen here on the ground. And I had a worry that might happen, that they might start setting off some fireworks late at night, but it didn't happen. And the night got later and later, and there were still no fireworks. Nothing too noisy anyway. So then I went to bed, and then at 11:30, I heard some loud fireworks, some of the big ones, some of the big bad boys, you know. They woke me up, and I was like, oh, crap. But I was like, well, you know, it's still not midnight yet. People are here on vacation, so, you know, we can give them a pass on that one. Hopefully we won't have anything after midnight. Well, guess what, guys? At 2:11 a.m., I woke up to the bursting of fireworks. And I mean, this was louder than a gunshot. And they went on and on. It was about 4 or 5 minutes worth of constant fireworks. Just bang, bang. And it woke me up, and I was so pissed off from it that not only did I wake up, but I was livid. So then I was wide awake. It was probably 4:30 before I could get back to sleep. I can't say I'm surprised because I've had that kind of situation here in China so many times. And it just disappoints me so much at the lack of regard. I mean, I think it's awesome people coming out and having a good time. But it disappoints me so much, the absolute lack of regard for others. It's mind-boggling. Oh, somebody dug their own grave. Nice. Maybe I'll fall in. So to be honest, that's one of my least favorite aspects of living in China is the fireworks situation. And it's not the fireworks themselves. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, fireworks are fine. They're kind of fun. It's a good way to celebrate. It's not the fireworks that are the issue. It's the fact that it's the complete disregard for one's environment and surroundings when they're setting them off. You know, there's a time and a place for everything. In my opinion, yeah, there's a time and a place for fireworks. But that time is not 5 a.m. and that time is not 2 a.m. And this is not just some random thing that happens every once in a while. I mean, anybody who's stayed here for a while knows what I'm talking about. And I can't tell you how pissed off I was last night when the sound of fireworks woke me up. So I'm kind of curious about your guys' opinions. Would you all consider this a crowded beach? I mean, for me, this is extremely crowded, but like I said earlier in the video, this is, by Chinese standards, this is like not crowded at all. I'll put some pictures in the corner of this video and you can see, like, during peak season, during a holiday, you can see just how crowded the beaches can get in China. These are those little sparklers I was telling you about. You'll see them all over the ground. People just buy them, and but I really don't like how they just throw them all over the ground. Yeah, back tattoo. These dudes are tatted up. I told you. Here's one of the main pastimes here. People pay for a ride on this. They get on the big duck, and then one of these jet skis will just pull them along, give them a nice fast ride. It actually looks kind of fun, but I have no idea what they're charging for it. Besides that, I did see a hot air balloon way out in the distance that's going up maybe 20, 30 feet. And it just kind of hovers there. The Bohai Sea Seafood Wholesale Market. This is the seafood market in town. This is the place to be. And it's got a fresh seafood smell. Luckily, it doesn't stink. That's the good thing. Coming to a place like this, you may not know how it might smell, but actually, it's got a fresh mood. Nothing rancid or rotten. I've got the big fish over here. Wow. Just to give you an idea, put my hand here. It's pretty big. I can't really tell you what types of fish these are because I'm not a fish expert, far from it, and I'm not a fisherman. Now this I've eaten a lot. I like this. I usually cut it up into small bits and pan fry it. It's really good. Wow, that's a weird looking fish over there. Wow. Back in the back, you got some really interesting ones there. They look kind of scary. They've got some monster lobsters over here. I mean, they're big, but compared to these, they're small. They're huge. Now there's the kind of crab that I like to eat. I like crab legs. A lot of the people here, they'll eat the smaller crabs, and I don't even really know how to eat those. They're difficult for me to eat, and I don't really enjoy them. But I love a nice fresh crab leg. Now here's the other section of this place. So you just saw the fresh seafood area, and over here they're cutting sashimi. You got salmon, tuna. So over here is a lot of the dried fish, dried squid, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and again in here it's a fishy smell, but it doesn't stink. I was a little worried this place might stink, but it actually doesn't. The main thing is it does not smell rotten. This stuff is interesting because it's all made to just pick up and eat. I mean, even these shrimp, they've got the shell, the head, the legs, but you just pick it up and eat it. Even these big ones. I mean, you could peel it if you wanted, but a lot of people just eat the shell. Fried fish, more shrimp. Now these are interesting. They're like dried baby squid. You're supposed to just eat it whole. I would have to be pretty drunk in order to eat that, to be honest. Hey, 你好，小心点儿，要不然它会卡你啊。小心点。 Wow, those people were really nice. They kept complimenting my my Chinese. One of the older ladies guessed that I was Vietnamese, which it was so funny. I had to start laughing. I took off my glasses and I looked at her and I said, "So you actually think I look Asian?" You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what country you're gonna say, whether it's Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, China, because I'm like the least Asian-looking person you could ever find. You know, I'm so obviously of European descent. That was so hilarious. I've never had anybody guess me to be Vietnamese. That was so funny. Hey, it's party time. Here we are, guys. It's party time on the balcony with me, myself, and Irene. But we've got a cold Qingdao. I've only had on this whole trip. This is my first beer. Got that. Got some of these really nice Japanese crunchy shelled peanuts. So good. And I'm just hanging out here, enjoying the night view. That's that pier that I went to. The square is just over there. That's where I was running earlier, and I went to the gate, and I only went to that point, but it goes all the way out to here. Here we go. This is what woke me up at 2:11 last night. And I figure, hell, if I'm gonna get woken up by it, I'm gonna sit out here and at least enjoy it for a while. Can you all see that broken glass? Well, let me tell you what happened there. You can see there's a few. So what's happening is somebody above me, probably some drunk guys, are up there. They're above me, and they're probably on like the 16th, 15th or 16th floor, and they're drinking beer, and they're throwing the glass bottles down 16 levels. Just tossing it, and it's smashing on that patio there. Now, there are plenty of people, as you can see, down in this area.